If you feel stuck in life, you're doing one thing wrong. From my early 20s to my mid 40s, I was doing this one thing wrong. And until I finally figured it out and put action to it, things began to change drastically and quickly. If you will actually do what I'm going to share in this short video, you, my friend, can skip decades of suffering and sadness. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to manifest the life of your dreams. Hi, and welcome back. And if it's your first time here, my name's Lindy, and I help women see their potential, change their mindset, and grow fulfilling lives. If that's something you want to do, then go ahead and subscribe and stick around. If you're watching this video, you probably feel stuck in life. Maybe it's a bad relationship, maybe you've been working a career for decades and you don't like it, or maybe you just feel like this is it, I've had children, I'm 45 or whatever, and now what? Whatever your current situation is like, this video is a tow truck with a winch. And if you will hook this winch onto your mind and in your heart, it is guaranteed to pull you out of your rut and get you zooming in life again. And I'm including a free 1-week plan that I've taken from my 21-day See Change Grow. And this will just help get you started and rolling in this summer plan. Hey, do you feel stuck in life? Do you feel like you've done everything possible? You don't know what else to do, and you just feel like you can't get things rolling in the direction that you want. And if you're like me, you might feel like it's too late. But the good news is it is absolutely never too late. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly what to do to live a fulfilling life. Maybe you're in an unpleasant relationship. Perhaps you're always stressed about finances, or maybe there are some more serious issues going on. Whatever the situation, there is hope. And before we get started on what you actually need to do to get your life moving in the direction that you want, it's important to understand how you got in this situation in the first place. Otherwise, you're just going to repeat it all over again. For a moment, just forget about all the names and faces in your workplace and people you know. Just forget about everything. And imagine your life is a garden. If your life is a garden, what would it look like? Picture yourself sitting in the midst of your life, your garden, right now. What does it look like? Are you surrounded by brown shrubs and thorns and dead things? Or are you surrounded by lush blueberry bushes and lettuce heads and cabbage heads and lots of green, luscious vegetables? Now, think about this. How does a garden grow? Who is responsible for the garden's contents? Who gets to decide what is planted in this garden? The owner does. The neighbor doesn't get to decide. Not even God gets to decide. It is only the owner of the garden that is responsible for deciding what gets planted in it. In other words, you and only you are responsible for what you are currently seeing in your life or in your garden. It is no one else's fault. In fact, if you try to blame somebody else for what is growing in your garden, you will never get unstuck. Oh, I'm not saying that other sources haven't crept in and planted things in your garden that you didn't want, nor am I saying that there aren't unexpected storms, big ones and small ones, that come along and cause some damage in your garden. That's just life. However, you and only you can take control of your garden and decide what is going to be able to keep growing or not grow. Only you can take control of your garden and produce the results you desire. Now let's lay out your easy summer plan. There are 2 simple steps you will have to do to have a very healthy, thriving garden. The first step is you will have to clear out the junk. What does clearing out the junk mean, and how do you do it? I'm going to give you a personal example of junk or weeds that I had growing in my garden. I was in a very unhappy relationship, no love. I was far away from my family. I had no healthy friendships or positive people to surround myself with and support me. I was working at a job that, while I was very grateful for, it didn't provide any emotional fulfillment, nor was anything I ever dreamed of or desired to do for a very long period of my life. And basically, it just put food on the table and a roof over my head with no other extras. I was living a pointless life with no fun, no thrills, and a lot of sadness. In a nutshell, I was 45 and I felt 90. And quite frankly, I was ready to die. And I'm not exaggerating. My life topped out at 45. At least that's what I thought. And that's how I felt. But I was wrong, thank God. There was hope. Life could get better. And now I'm living a life beyond what I even dreamed. And you can too. Now that we've identified what equals junk or weeds, how do we clear that out of our garden? To know how to clear out your garden, it's important to understand how a garden grows in the first place. Think about it. What do you have to have in a garden to grow something? Whether good or bad, what has to be planted in your garden for something to grow? Seeds. You can plant bad seeds or good seeds. Either way, nothing will grow without a seed. This means if you don't like what you're seeing in your life right now, you've been sowing something that isn't good. And you need to figure out what it is so you don't keep doing it. Otherwise, this is just a big waste of time and you're going to clear out your garden, plant the same exact kind of seeds, and grow exactly what you just had that you don't want. So, Lindy, if you're saying I've been planting junk seeds in my garden, how do I get rid of them, right? I'm sure that's what you must be thinking. Well, it's a great question. And if you're not thinking it, you should be. The primary way that seeds are planted in your life garden are your beliefs, your thoughts, your words, and your actions. For example, I believed I wasn't very smart and I needed somebody else to take care of me, to think for me, and to tell me what to do. My thoughts and words consisted of, I need to find someone who's going to tell me what to do. And this attracted somebody who was very dominating and controlling. But it was my fault. I was putting that out there. I needed someone to think and control me because that's what I was putting out. I was saying and thinking and believing that I was stupid and I needed someone to think for me and to control me because I didn't think I could control myself. What a stupid lie. And my actions were continual attempts to try to bring happiness into the other person's life. I never thought about myself. It was always, what are they thinking and how can I make them like me? My beliefs that I was unlikable, do we even need to go there? As you can see, my garden was a mess. So now you can see that in step 1, you must clear out your garden by getting rid of those old thoughts, those old beliefs about yourself, by getting rid of those old words that you've been saying about yourself that aren't good and uplifting and full of love for yourself. And you also have to get rid of doing actions that are harmful to you. You must understand that you are valuable and capable right now. And you'll have to get rid of negative beliefs, thoughts, words, and actions that are harming you and growing your current situation, life garden. In other words, you're already awesome. You just need to believe it, think it, say it, and act it. Now that we've cleared out your garden, it's time for step 2. It's time to plant a new garden. And yes, that means you're going to have to sow some different seeds. So how do you do that? You're going to have to learn some new beliefs, and you're going to have to be thinking some different positive thoughts, and you're going to need to start speaking good, new, healthy words, and then you're going to have to start applying action to things that actually benefit you. These actions might include reading a certain kind of a book, a self-help book, or turning on a video. That's something you need to hear. Maybe you need to start taking some walks or reaching for an apple instead of a bowl of ice cream. Remember, my beliefs, thoughts, words, and actions were not good. They were poisonous. They were hurting my life. Therefore, they were going to grow bad plants. There was no other option. It was destiny. Think about this. You cannot plant misguided beliefs, thoughts, words, and actions into your life garden and have them grow into fruition, then expect them to change. In other words, it's impossible. It is impossible for you to change your situation without first changing your words. Just like it is impossible for a dandelion seed to grow a rose. It's impossible. It's impossible for a thorn bush to grow into a zucchini. If you want your life to start growing, your dreams, your dream life, then you are going to have to plant new seeds in your soil. You are going to have to plant different good seeds in your soil. You're going to have to plant seeds that are good beliefs about you. You're already wonderful. You're already awesome. You're already got everything in you that you need to live a fulfilling life. Start thinking it, believe it, think it, say it, and do things that cultivate, that water that seed. You must begin believing good things about yourself. You must think good things about yourself, and you absolutely must say good things about yourself and put action to it. What I had to do, instead of believing that I wasn't smart and capable, I had to start reading books that changed my mindset and listening to speakers who said positive, good, uplifting things to help shift my mindset. And then I had to say them about myself. And I did this until I actually believed that I was amazing and beautiful and completely capable. I'm really smart and I can learn. Then I no longer spent all of my time stressing about making the other person happy. I just concentrated on bettering myself. They would just have to deal with themselves. It wasn't my problem. I chose to be a happy woman. And I learned how to be kind to my friends again and restore those relationships that were beautiful and helpful, and surrounded myself with people who would encourage me and lift me up. Simply said, step 2 in your summer plan is to start thinking, believing, saying, doing good things for you. Put those in your garden, and your life is guaranteed to grow different things than what you've been seeing. It will begin showing your dream life. People will begin walking by your garden and saying, I want what she has. Do these 2 easy steps. 1, clear out your old garden. Clear out your old beliefs, clear out your old thoughts, clear out your old talk, and clear out your old actions, and start planning new beliefs, thoughts, words, and actions in your garden of life. And by the end of this summer, you will start seeing the fruit, the results of your changes. To help you get started on your summer plan, I'm including this free download. It's 7 days worth of my 21-day See Change Grow plan. It just gives you simple, easy, day-to-day steps to follow to just really get you rolling in your new happy dream life. So make sure you take advantage of that.